Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? The King of Lightning is here today, bringing you guys and gals my thoughts on the latest episodes of One Piece, episodes 737 and 38. Oh, baby! I mean, listen, I'm hyped, not because of the episodes per se, because they were very good. Despite the fact that episode 737 had a lot of filler in it, it was still pretty good. And episode 738 was actually very good in itself as well. Very emotional. I had the feels for Sabo. I'm like, Sabo, like, my dude, man, my dude. Seeing Luffy cry over that. And granted, we did get to see this perspective from the episode of Sabo special, but still, it was still good to see it. Like, Luffy crying over, like, oh, and he's hugging him, and he's like, trying to just squeeze him to death. It was kind of cool. But seeing the trailer for the next episode, I'm like, oh, baby, oh, he's coming in hot, he's coming with some fire, it's going down. I pray to whatever Sky God exists that my strikes are done, because I want to do a live reaction for that shit. Oh, come on, man. Come on, let's go, motherfucker, just fell. Oh, my God. The hype. I know. It's not for the episodes that I'm talking about today, but still, the hype. Like, I'm there. I'm like a hawk on ham. I'm there, dude. I'm there. Shit. I mean, even if I can't do it on this channel, it's going on the second channel, and then I'll upload it on the main channel because Kaido. Okay, he's coming. All right, fine. So, let me focus on this episode, or these episodes, I should say. First of all, I did like seeing the training with Sabo and Dragon. I was like, this is really cool. Like, the fact that Sabo was so well trained, and he had the muscle memory not to actually do Hack's training. So Hack's training was mediocre. So he's like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing. All right? If I do like all your karate punches, it's gonna be pointless. All right, I'm gonna actually get rusty. All right, and mind you, Hack, I'm pretty sure he's a very good practitioner of Fisherman Karate. I wouldn't say he's like Jinbei level, but the guy's pretty damn good. That's my guess. And here he is, like, no. Like, I mean, mind you, a little kid Sabo, like, no, you're not good enough, right? So here he is doing his own thing. He's training on his own. He's doing spars with Hack, and then Kuma, and then Dragon. It's like, what? Like, that is some cool stuff. That is some very, very, very cool shit. So I do like seeing that. I also want to point out that I think it is very apparent that Dragon's powers are in some way related to wind. This is very obvious. I mean, everywhere this guy steps, there's like a gust of wind. I'm like, dude, Dragon, like, I mean, I'm thinking Wind Logia. That's my guess. I've done like several videos on this, Wind Logia. Some folks say that he's kind of like Storm from X-Men. He can control the weather. Maybe, I don't know. And then some folks say, no, he's an actual, like, mythical Zoan dragon. Also very possible. But you see in episode 737 where this dude, he steps, he kind of walks this way. There's always a gust of wind somewhere around this guy. So clearly his powers are centered around wind in some way, shape, or form. Now, I could go a very, like, holy shit route, where it's not necessarily wind, but it's something that is far more, his powers could be something that are more rooted in like a molecular type of manipulation thing. Who, again, I don't know. We're gonna find out one day, but not today, not anytime soon, because Oda, he's gonna milk this cow until the others are nothing but dust. So, let's talk about the actual substance here when it comes to the episodes. So, obviously we find out that Sabo, he had amnesia. So he had no idea about Luffy or Ace. He forgot about them. And it wasn't until Ace died where he actually remembered about his brothers, Ace and Luffy. So the trauma is massive, because not only do you have all of these old memories flooding in from your childhood, and the bond between these two friends of yours, and how this bond became a brotherhood, where you guys had the Sake Cup Kyodai, and there was true friendship there. How this friendship is what actually gave him an out from the chaos and from the life that he didn't want as a noble. And yet, here it is all flooding back to him, and then finding out that on top of that he forgot about his brothers for this long, and how one of them died. how he didn't do a goddamn thing about it. So you can see why it was so traumatizing to where he was out for like 3 days. When Sabo came into the story, a lot of folks were wondering, wait, hold on. How come Sabo didn't do a goddamn thing when Luffy was trying to save Ace during the Marineford War? Where was Sabo? Sabo should have been there. And this is Oda's out in that situation. Now, granted, you could say that, well, Oda, like, it's too easy. And honestly, in some ways, it is too goddamn easy. Oh, he had amnesia, therefore he couldn't do anything about it. It's too easy. It makes perfect sense. It makes 100% absolute sense. But is it too easy? And the answer, I think, would be yes. It makes sense, but when I first read in the manga, I understood it full well. Personally, I believe that Oda should have gone with something a little more substantive. Like, he couldn't make it no matter what, or like he tried to, or he was captured, something, to where it's not more or less, oh, well, it's not like he forgot about it, but more so he just couldn't physically get there in time because of X, Y, Z, and the other, involving the Revolutionary Army. That would have, I think, been a lot better. Now, granted, I'm not Oda, so Oda, it's his world. Literally, it's his world. Moving on from that, what I do like seeing here is the character interaction between Sabo, Koala, Hack, Dragon. Kuma doesn't say a goddamn thing. Kuma doesn't say a goddamn thing. This big-ass 22-foot OP motherfucker didn't say a goddamn thing. And I'm like, dude, Kuma, like, Bartholomew, you and, like, your Bible, like, just talk, all right? Like, just say something. I don't know why he didn't say anything. He just didn't say anything. Just stand there, Bible, just looking all big and just, let's fight. I'm like, what? Like, Kuma, Bartholomew, man. Like this dude is one of the biggest enigmas in the series. I want to find out more. We must find out more about our good old friend Bartholomew Kuma. So, I mean, that kind of threw off a little bit, but still, it is what it is there. So, it all wraps up basically when after Sabo's telling this story to, I think it was Kinemon, Kanjiro, Zoro, Frankie, and Robin. Those 5 people, because the rest are asleep. And basically, he lets it be known that he does, of course, trust Luffy's crewmates. How, yeah, Luffy's a hassle, but he knows all too well. He's, his brother, obviously. And of course, when it comes to the surprise factor, Luffy must have been the most surprised because, and he was, because Luffy thought that Sabo was dead. And so he leaves them with a Vivere card that he made, which we don't know how they do it yet, but we're gonna find out one day. And then he leaves on like a crow. Now, here's the thing. In the manga, the assumption was that the crow talking to Sabo was a female, so the voice would have been feminine, obviously. However, in the anime, it's male. Now, that threw me off. I'm like, that's a dude? Now, because there was a theory going on where there was someone who was on Dressrosa who probably had some crow manipulation or a crow Zoan. I mean, like, consider the whole notion of Awakened Up for users, right? And you have a crow Zoan that maybe is controlling other crows, because there's clearly one large crow, and then there are smaller crows that Sabo's riding on. So either the Zoan is controlling the other crows, or those crows are part of that one individual. We're not too sure at all, honestly. And we do know that when it comes to the Revolutionary Army, they use crows, not seagulls or other birds, but they use crows as a means of sending letters and secret data and that kind of stuff. They use crows. So based on the anime, it looks like the person is actually a man, either who is controlling the crows or is it crow Zoan and one-on-one. Where in the manga, it was assumed, a lot of folks thought, including myself, that it was a female, based on some of the panels where there's some chick that you can't really see her face, and she is amongst the group, which I don't recall seeing in the anime, but she's there in the manga. So now we know, well, at least that's the anime adaptation. That can't say for sure it is the case, but according to anime, it's a dude. It is what it is. So that was very fascinating. And so now Fujitora, he's not going to actually attack Luffy and Company because he has basically said, okay, listen, I'm going to give him a chance, all right? I'm going to have a dice. He's betting with the dice. So now every time that die hits the Snake Eye, they have another day of rest because Fujitora will not attack. That's good. And also, I did enjoy seeing how Bartolomeo, he knows about Hakuba. So when they're all going to sleep, it's like, no. The Cavendish, chain him down. Chain him down. Otherwise, we're all going to die. And that is funny. And like you see how when they're all sleeping nice and cozy, you see Hakuba, he's out. He's twitching in the chains like, I'm like, it's funny. It's funny. It's hilarious. So that being said, again, episode 737 had a lot of filler in it, but I did enjoy the training. I did enjoy how he was sparring with like Dragon and Kuma and Hack and all that kind of stuff. So I did like that. Seeing the interaction between Koala and Sabo, again, Hack and Sabo and the entire Rev, basically. What I will say, though, also, is that when it comes to the pacing, all right, I know it's not a review, but when it comes to the pacing of episode 738, it was slow. It was slow for the suspense reasons, obviously, because Sabo, he's finding out about, he's finding out that Ace and Luffy, like, they're his brothers, how his brother Ace just died in combat, how he got a hole punched through him by a Kainu. And he's finding all this stuff out in like one fell swoop. But there was a lot of suspense there. Like when it came to like the beads of sweat slowly forming on his face, when it came to the shadow going over his face, when it came to him hunching over, the heartbeats, I'm like, it took a while. But in this case, even though it was slow, and normally, you guys know me, I would rag constantly on the slow pacing, it was actually executed well. It was executed well. Yes, it was slow as all shit, but it was executed for the third time well. And I did like that. So, even though it can be slow, sometimes it can be good despite it being slow, or it's actually good because it's slow. And this is one of the rare cases where that's actually the case, in my personal opinion. So that being said, I'm done. King Lightning, I'm going to see you guys for next week, or next episode of One Piece. Motherfucker, oh, he just fell. I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. Rate the video, comment, subscribe. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day.